Hello fellow Dragon Tamers, my name is VideoJames, and today we're going to be looking at how to use Dragalge. Now, before I start this video, I want to say, if you can hear what sounds like it's a giant fan going on, that actually is a giant fan going on. So, as of now, it's officially summer where I am, so that's probably going to show up in a lot of the videos. I do apologize, I can't really edit it out. I don't know how to edit it out, because I can't separate my audio with any of the software that I have, but I just wanted to explain that just so you guys weren't like, okay, what the heck is that? That's driving me crazy. Looking at Dragalge, we see it's actually a poison dragon type, which is an interesting typing because now we get the weakness to ice and dragon that we always get, but we lose our weakness to fairy, and we instead gain a weakness to ground and psychic. So it's kind of interesting. And then when we look at the abilities, we actually see that Dragalge gets poison point, poison touch, and adaptability. Now, Poison Point and Poison Touch, there's only a subtle difference in between them. Basically, with Poison Point, the opponent has a 30% chance of poisoning themselves if they come into physical contact with Dragalge from one of their attacks. So, say an Infernape tries to use Fire Punch on Dragalge, 30% chance that Fire Punch is going to poison the Infernape. And with Poison Touch, it's the other way around. So with Poison Touch, whenever Dragalge makes a physical attack that makes contact, then the other Pokemon has a 30% chance of actually getting poisoned. Except, of course, for Steel types, because Steel types can be poisoned. Or Poison types. Hidden ability is actually a very great ability, and it's actually only available through transfer from Gen 6 into Gen 7, and it's the ability Adaptability. Now, we all know how overpowered that is. Adaptability is arguably the best ability in the game. Or one of the best. It is arguably one of the best, if not the best, abilities, is what I should have said. But basically what Adaptability does is it raises the stab bonus from 1.5 to 2. So basically, any damage that you get is now going to be getting a 2-time multiplier, instead of the 1.5 multiplier from stab. And then looking at the stats, we see that Dragalge actually has 494. So we see we got 65 in the HP, 75 in the attack, 97 in the special attack, 90 in the defense, a whopping 120 in the special defense, and 44 in the speed. Now, Dragalge has a scenario that's kind of similar to a lot of other Pokemon that kind of makes me sad a tiny bit, and that's the fact that its stats are kind of all over the place. So, we see that we've got an extremely high special defense, a decent defense, but really low HP. So, it borders on almost not being able to be tank, but if you go for full special, you can get a decent bit out of it, but it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, we got high defenses, but we've got almost no HP to last us. And then when it comes to the attack, we see we got decent attacking potential, but extremely low speed, so we can't really make use of it unless we're in a trick room. And then hopping on over into Showdown, we see the first set is actually a Dragonium Z Adaptability Dragalge. So we see, again, we got Dragonium Z with Adaptability, we've got Draco Meteor, Sludge Wave, Hidden Power Fire, and Toxic Spikes. And then we have the maxed out HP, maxed out special attack with the Modest Nature, and 4 EVs thrown in the special defense. So basically with this Dragalge, we're an attacker. We're a tanky attacker. So we've got the high special defense, reaching 283, meaning we might live one special hit if it's not completely super effective against us. And we've got the high HP, so like, okay, we'll definitely live a hit if it's not very effective against us. Now we've got Draco Meteor as our main Dragon-type move, that high power, high rate of damage, and with the Dragonium Z, it's going to be getting even stronger, and that Z move is just going to be overpowered and take almost anything in a one-shot. Then we have Sludge Wave there as Dragalge's kind of poison move. Now, I put Sludge Wave on here just because with this set, you're not really getting that much boosted damage, so you're trying to boost the damage as much as possible. So with Sludge Wave having the 95 base power instead of Sludge Bomb's 90 base power, I kind of favored it a little more. The only real drawback to Sludge Wave over Sludge Bomb is that you go down by 20% in your chance to poison. Then we have Hidden Power Fire. Now, Hidden Power Fire is actually Dragalge's main goal for taking out stuff that would absolutely wall it. So stuff like Scizor. That Scizor is one of the most common Pokemon now that I see it almost everywhere. In fact, I did like 100 battles yesterday, I think it must have been. and I had to have seen at least 50 Scizor. So with Hidden Power Fire, Dragalge actually has a counter to a lot of the steel types that are actually going to run against it, like Scizor and some of the other stuff, like Ferrothorn and a couple grass types that kind of don't really care about a Sludge Wave all that much. Then we have Toxic Spikes there just to set up that if we're starting off against something that we know is just going to start setting up like a Shuckle, then we can say, okay, I'll throw out a couple Toxic Spikes maybe if you don't have another poison, or if it does have another poison, then we'll just go for the Dragonium Z and go for our Draco Meteor to take out that Shuckle. There's a variation of this set where you could use the Choice Specs, which in that case you would swap out Choice Specs for the Dragonium Z, and I would say take out Toxic Spikes with Scald, just because with this set you wouldn't really want to run a setup move because you don't really have the favorability to swap into attacking moves if you need to. Also with this set, I say probably be a better idea to run Dragon Pulse and Sludge Bomb, because with a choice item you don't really want to be swapping out that much. You do want to be swapping out in case you get locked into something that you don't want to fight, but if you're using like Draco Meteor and you're kind of stuck on that one move, you don't really want to be stuck on it for too long, and if you end up having Dragalge as your last Pokemon, or you can't swap out the Dragalge because of, say, Infestation from a Shuckle, then it's at that point you don't really want to keep using Draco Meteor because you're going to make yourself weaker and weaker and weaker, and they're probably going to end up keep taking the hits and hits and hits, and they're going to end up healing, and you're going to be like, okay, I'm dead. And that's also the reason I put on Sludge Bomb, because Sludge Bomb has that higher chance to deal poison damage, so we could actually get a chance of wearing our opponent down slowly, and if we get locked into a Pokemon that we can't really take out effectively with the Sludge Bomb, but we're still doing, say, 30% of its health with one, then we can say, okay, I'll just throw out 5 or 6 more Sludge Bombs, and eventually the poison will just take care of you for me. And then the next Dragalge is actually a Black Sludge Poison Point set. So we've got Protect, Toxic Spikes, Rest, and Dragon Tail, with the maxed out HP and defense with the special defensive nature, and the 4 EVs thrown into the special defense. So with the careful nature, we're actually getting a decent bit of tankage that we're hitting the 311s, and with 334 in the HP, that does actually give us a decent bit of tank, not to mention having 279 in the defense, giving us a decent bulk against physical stuff like Play Rough. But when we look at the move pool, we see we have Protect there, just as, like, say, a free turn if we need to heal, that I can tell you with Pokemon like Venusaur, that getting a Leech Seed with a Venusaur and then going for a Protect can give you an instant turn where you just get enough health back to survive the next hit and deal massive damage. And with Dragalge, it's kind of the same story. So we got Protect, kind of heal ourselves up or save us from something we don't really want to get hurt by. Like a Z move, we can go for Protect and take most of the damage from the Z move and reduce it. Then we have Toxic Spikes there as a setup, that Toxic Spikes poisons all Pokemon that land on Toxic Spikes, except for Steel, Poison, and Flying types, and if the Pokemon should happen to be a Poison type, it'll actually swap the Toxic Spikes and get rid of them. So Toxic Spikes basically there just to shut down stuff that's really tanky, that if we can't really do much damage, which we're not really going to do much damage with Dragalge in this set, then we basically just throw out the Toxic Spikes and we wait for their health to get down enough, and we keep hammering them with whatever move we can. And then we got Rest there just as our major health recovery, that should we need to get our health back in a major sort of way, we go for a Rest, get our health up to max, and then maybe swap out into, say, a Chansey, and then Chansey can go for Heal Bell and get rid of Dragalge's Sleep, and then we can send Dragalge back in and he'll actually be able to take care of what it needs to. And then we have Dragon Tail. Now, I say Dragon Tail on this set because with this set, we don't really have much of a way of getting rid of stuff. So stuff that sets up its stats, like, say, a Curse Umbreon, then we don't really have Haze, so we can't really get rid of that. And with Dragalge, you don't really want to have a full non-attacking set, because it doesn't really work out that well. So we got Dragon Tail in there just for the stab, and the chance to get rid of stuff that's setting up. That Dragon Tail forces a switch in, so say the Umbreon gets off 2 curses, okay, I hit you with a Dragon Tail, you're forced to swap out, and now all those curses make you go bye-bye. Now, there is another variation on this set as well. A lot of Dragalge sets are basically variants of each other. So we've got the Black Sludge with Poison Point this time, and we've got Protect, Toxic Spikes, Gunk Shot, and Dragon Tail. So with this one, we basically have the maxed out HP and defense, so we're being more of a physical tank, that we're not really worrying about our special defense this time, although it is high, so we will actually be getting a decent bit out of it. Then we have Protect there, just Protect, I explained it last time. It basically is just a free, safe turn plus heal. Then we have Toxic Spikes there just to set up. You could replace it with Toxic if you want to. I don't know. Maybe just do whatever you want to do. Then you have Gunk Shot there as our poison attacking move that you basically just throw out a Gunk Shot and you're doing massive amounts of damage with, I believe, 120 base power is Gunk Shot. And then we have Dragon Tail again just for the swap out. Now this Dragalge is more of an attacking set when compared to the last one, that this one is more of actually doing an offensive setup Dragalge, and the last one was more of a defensive setup Dragalge. So it really all depends on your point of view, that if you want to use an offensive Dragalge but you don't want to be full attacking, then you could go with this set. Or if you want to be defensive with not much attacking, then you could go with this set. That either set basically tailors to how you want to play. And that's going to be it for how to use Dragalge. Maybe not the best dragon, but it's still a very decent dragon. That it actually does do a good amount of attacking, a good amount of setuping, and a good amount of healing and tanking all at the same time. And personally, I actually really like Dragalge, not only for the typing, that Poison Dragon actually a very interesting typing. I actually really do like that. That combination actually is very intriguing. But also the capability behind it is actually very nice. Regardless, for now I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any Pokemon you want to see me do videos on in the future, let me know down in the comments. And if you did like this video, you can slap the like button as always, and I'll see all you beautiful people in the next video.